It's Monday night. I've had quite a long day at work today, so just as a disclaimer before this video, I've drunk 6 of these. I wanted to talk about Canelo Alvarez versus Kirkland. I've had one or two messages about that, and I think there are some pros to this fight. I mean, let's be realistic. The first pro is obviously Miguel Cotto didn't sign to fight with Canelo. As a result, Canelo was looking for an opponent as a sort of second choice, if you like. And in terms of second choice opponents, Kirkland isn't a bad fighter, you know. There's a lot worse in terms of who gets brought in as a second choice opponent. Secondly, the second positive about this fight is stylistically it's attractive. You know, these guys both come to fight. It's going to make a fan-friendly matchup. They're not going to be overly technical. They're not going to be overly sort of boxery. You know, it's going to be a bit of a war, and I know the fans like that. In many ways, popular. I guess a third positive, but only if you're an American, is that the fight will be free to air, whereas, you know, often these kind of fights are a pay-per-view. So there are a lot of positives to this fight. I'm not hating on it. What I would like to say is I disagree with anyone who calls this fight competitive. Anyone who, you know, says it's going to be a tough fight for Canelo. I know Dwyer did a video the other day where he talked up Kirkland to an extent and said that, you know, Kirkland could win by knockout. Well, in my opinion, that's just not the case. In my opinion, this is going to be an easy fight for Canelo. As I say, I'm not hating on it. I understand the circumstances. I understand that Floyd and Manny, Miguel Cotto are unavailable for whatever reason, and that in terms of bringing in a second choice opponent, Kirkland is a fan-friendly opponent. Kirkland's going to make a good fight. Let's be honest though, realistically, Kirkland is not going to beat Canelo Alvarez. Kirkland's a guy, he's not getting any younger. He's been inactive for quite some period of time. He's very technically limited. He's got big problems with his trainer. Will he or won't he be trained by her? You know, there's all these sort of intangibles about Kirkland. We've seen him turn up for fights before, like we did with Asida, where, you know, he wasn't in shape, he wasn't dedicated, and there's questions about this guy. You know, he's undoubtedly talented. He undoubtedly packs a punch, but how dedicated is he to boxing? You know, how much does he genuinely want it? He's been inactive, he's not in shape. And the other thing is, stylistically, this plays into Canelo's hands. If you're the guy who's going to stand in the centre of the ring and brawl with Canelo, you're going to get knocked out. You know, Canelo can hit hard. The guys who've caused Canelo problems, obviously Floyd Mayweather whitewashed him. Austin Trout and Erislandy Lara, I understand both of those fights were very controversial. Let's put it this way, both of those guys took at least 4 or 5 rounds of Canelo. Some of us may believe they took more off Canelo, but we can all agree those guys caused him problems. We can all agree they took 4 or 5 rounds with him. Floyd, you know, despite a huge weight deficit, destroyed him. So the way to beat Canelo in my eyes is very clear. If Austin Trout can take 4 or 5 rounds off him, if Floyd Mayweather can whitewash him, the way to beat Canelo is to box him, to be more technical than him, to hit him and move. Kirkland doesn't bring that to the ring. Dwyer was right that Kirkland's style of beating Canelo is to come for a war, to try and hurt him. But I think where Dwyer got it wrong is Canelo's a big guy for a light middleweight. Canelo's got a good chin. Canelo's got quite substantial punch resistance. I know Kirkland hits quite hard, but I'd be amazed if Canelo Alvarez ends up on his arse in this fight. Realistically, this fight goes one or two ways. Either Kirkland doesn't show up in shape and he gets knocked out. This is a guy who got dropped multiple times by Asida. If that can happen, Canelo can knock him out. Or option 2, he does turn up in shape and he gets outpointed. I mean, let's be honest, there's no way this guy takes 7 rounds off Canelo in a 12-round fight. And I don't see him knocking Canelo out. I think Canelo's hard as nails. I think he's really, really tough. I think he's really, really big for the weight. I understand this may be a cat's weight, but if that is the case, it's £155. He may not be a big middleweight, but he's a big £155-pounder. So, as I say, I'm not hating on this fight. It's free to air in the US, which is a good thing. It's a second choice opponent, and it's going to be a stylistically entertaining fight. But there's no way on God's earth James Kirkland wins this fight. You know, if I was a bookmaker pricing this up, I'd want Canelo 150 on. Let me know your thoughts. Many thanks for watching.